when I first lost Martin, when I stopped, well, straight away when I'd lost Martin, you start to look at yourself and say, why did this happen to me? Was I being punished because of this or that? And I really tried to sit down and think what I'd ever done so bad in my life that God would punish me by taking my son. And then I realised, no, it was an accident, and that wasn't the case. But then there's a side of you, even the most intelligent and rational people, which think, I don't ever want to be in this position again. It's a bit like a footballer wearing lucky socks. And they'll always wear the lucky socks because if they want to score a goal otherwise. And with me, it was laughing. If I laughed, and I had a good laugh, I was terrified I'd end up crying as punishment for laughing. So I didn't laugh for a long, long time. And I can tell you when I laughed again, and it was 2 years later, and my son, who's now 31, Stuart, he was 3 when we lost Martin. And Martin, Stuart never spoke again. He mumbled, but he never really spoke for 2 years. So he had to have speech therapy, and they said he was affected by, losing Martin. And one day, 2 years down the road, Stuart laughed. And it was a sound that we hadn't heard for 2 years. And we realised, yeah, Stuart was grieving. Stuart was grieving for losing. And I think I started to, I'd allow myself to have a laugh. But for a lot, I mean, going to church was another one. I was afraid not to go to church. If I didn't go to church on a Sunday morning, and that's not, I mean, I like going to church, but I like going to church when I want to go to church. But I was afraid not to go to church because if I didn't go to church, would God punish me again? Now, my mother was even funnier. My mother, God bless her soul, I mean, she passed away 3 years ago. But this is a true story that my mum worked in Marks and Spencer's. And she started work at 5:30 every morning. So she'd be leaving the house about 5 o'clock to get down into work. And she had a thing about elephants. And she must have had about 30 elephants scattered around the downstairs of the living room. And every morning she kissed the bum of every elephant. And I've known my mother, God's honest truth, get up the road ready to get to the bus stop. And remember, she hadn't kissed the elephant in the passage and has come back. But my mother convinced herself that if she didn't kiss all those elephants' bums, something bad was going to happen. So I think, especially me and my mother, because you'd probably call us a bit neurotic, but we spent the last 26 years, 27 years being slightly superstitious. Of even now I think to myself, oh, if I laugh too much, if I'm seen to enjoy myself too much, then something bad will happen. So I always sort of pull back. I've never been able to get drunk since I lost Martin, which is really weird. I mean, not that I'm a big drinker, but something inside me says, right, so you never really enjoy yourself again. You're always afraid to let yourself go to the point where you can be frivolous, and because something inside you says you never want to be in that position where you're helpless and you can't control the fate of those around you. I tend to be I'm the kind of person, I have to know that my family is all safe, locked up and snug. No, I'm like Mother Hen. Even my 31-year-old son and my daughter-in-law and my son, my grandson, and if my husband's gone out for a pint, I cannot go to sleep until I know he's safe and the door's locked. If Tom goes out with his mates and it's 10 o'clock, where are you, boy? Hurry up, So it's not a good thing that I can be a bit obsessive about making sure everybody around me is safe. And I'm superstitious to the extent where if you're going to give me a problem, give it to me in the morning, because I can't sleep tonight. I'll worry so I've got to get it, throw at me like in the morning, but by the end of the day, I will have worked my way through it. But I am superstitious on things like that, definitely. But with me, it's laughing. I'm afraid to laugh.